Actually, I brought a few of these. I didn't get a chance to get one. I didn't get a chance to get to them with.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Now, if I say Los Impuestos están subiendo de nuevo, will people know that I'm stay away from that?
Dr. Julio de Carvalho, right? Pedro Chantry, and myself, Agnello Montrond. The main goal of today's event is to bring visibility to Cvama, Cape Verdean American Media Association, and at the same time promote a social interaction amongst members of the media, community leaders, business owners, political leaders, candidates for Mayor of Brockton, and candidates for Council at Large in Brockton, who are honoring us with their presences here and now. Radio talk show hosts in Brockton will have 2 minutes each to briefly introduce themselves and their respective shows. Candidates for mayor and council at large will also have 2 minutes each to briefly introduce themselves and state why they are running for office in Brockton. Let us make it public that we mailed invitation letters to all 15 candidates running for council at large and all candidates running for mayor. We do realize that the invitations were mailed somehow late, and some of those candidates cannot make it today due to prior commitments. We do understand that, and we are planning to host a forum on September 7th at the Cape Verdean Consulate in Quincy in an effort to have all candidates present. Shortly, we will contacting all candidates and we will provide more details. Without any further ado, let me read Cvama Preamble. The Cape Verdean American Media Association, Cvama, is a non-profit, non-partisan and secular social organization whose mission is to collectively promote and support a sustainable system of information pertaining to the global Cape Verdean community. In order to achieve its mission, Cvama will exhort the delivery of relevant, comprehensive and accurate information to the public. It will foster high morale while abiding by the code of journalistic ethics. Cvama will represent the Cape Verdean media in the United States and will empower its members by providing ongoing professional development opportunities. Cape Verdeans residing in the City of Champions are hardworking people who are growing not only demographically but also economically and intellectually. The number of business owned and operated by Cape Verdean champions has skyrocketed lately. Cape Verdean champions are helping to boost the economy in Brockton. Do you know how many Cape Verdean champions businesses are out there only on Main Street in Brockton? I'm sure that if you find out, you will be surprisingly impressed. When it comes to home ownership, Cape Verdean champions are a role model in the area. As soon as they buy a house, they start making improvement to it in an effort to make it look nice, both in the interior and in the exterior. That alone is a tremendous contribution that they have been doing to help beautify the city of Brockton. For different reasons, Greater Brockton area residents and others from all walks of life, including dentists, medical doctors, lawyers, elementary and high school teachers and administrators, business people, and others who interact with Cape Verdeans, either socially or professionally, have shown an interest in learning Cape Verdean language and culture to effectively and successfully deal with Cape Verdeans. Also, many intellectuals, scholars, educators, and highly qualified professionals have contributed to make this nation what it is today. As it was well said, Cape Verde richness is not gold, not nor it is diamond, but it is its human resources. In an effort to avoid omissions, I will not mention names of those who have outperformed, surpassed, or excel in several areas of knowledge, know-how, or expertise in this country. We have sufficient reasons to be proud to be Cape Verdeans, anywhere we may be, even though some of the US media have often inappropriately portrayed a negative image of what we are not about. It should not go without saying that many Cape Verdeans have enlisted in the US Army. Some have participated in several wars defending the country. Many have served and are still serving in Iraq and in Afghanistan. Several have lost their lives in the line of duty to defend our national interests. For all these reasons, we should congratulate our protagonists and meanwhile recognize that it is possible for Cape Verdeans to do more and better, both at national and local levels. At a local level, especially in Brockton, there is an urgent need to create a tactical and strategic coalition involving well-respected and credited representatives of all sectors of the community, capable of defending the Cape Verdeans' interest and influencing the local decision makers with regards to social, economical, educational, and political matters. This is a challenge that I would like to be considered by our leaders and all candidates running for office in Brockton. Paraphrasing Dr. King, let me say that we have a dream. Let us dream that we will have inclusive leaders that will establish tangible priorities regarding the Cape Verdean community, one of the fastest growing minority groups in Brockton. Let us dream that we'll have inclusive leaders that will work together with the Cape Verdean government, representatives in the United States, in order to advocate for Cape Verdean and Cape Verdean American residents in the City of Champions. Let us dream that we'll have Cape Verdean candidates running for office in every single ward in Brockton, for councillor seats, school committee member seats, council at large, and why not, for mayor as well. Let us dream that we will instill in Brockton a climate of awareness and tolerance to cultural differences. Let us dream that we will make Brockton a city where there is no room for corruption, where there is no room for nepotism, where there is no room for friends first and others second. A city with equal opportunities for all, not only for the boys and girls of the club, thus lessening the gap between the rich and the poor. Let us dream that we'll make Brockton a city of peace, love, and unity, free of all illegal gun, drug, with zero gun violence. Let us dream that we'll bring lighting in some dark areas in some Cape Verdean neighborhood in Brockton. Let us dream that the Cape Verdean demographic power in Brockton will be balanced to its corresponding political power. Thank you all. Obrigado. God bless Brockton.
Mariana Pinto Vaz. Portanto, estou aqui.
I'd love to be in this evening. I was just gonna go right for you guys. I'm gonna vote for you guys, whatever. Run for mayor or city council. So I'm here for you guys if not need help. So maybe on the show. My number will give out to everybody else. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also from 96.5 we have Mr. Oleg, DJ Oleg.
9 years, help the community. I talk a little bit in microphone. I program more for the music. Show the music, Cabo Verde news, cultura, the music, the Cabo Verde, everything. Thank you.
Around 12 shows, 17 people.
Of the program Sela Ernestina. I've been the program since 1994. Since 1994, we didn't miss program 1 week, and that program, and I'm glad to serve the community. I try to please the community every day, and I hope I continue to do this. Sure. Thank you.
I've been producing. And it's all about keeping the community informed. If you are an ethnic minority in this city and you need to find out what's going on within your community, you have no place to go other than the local cable access that we produce in this community. So to me, I see it as a vital linkage between the community and what we do out there, and I think it's important to continue doing that. And we're grateful to do it. It's a lot of work because we're all volunteers and we rely on volunteers to get it done. But we bring it to the community with all the pleasures and feeling of the fact that we're doing something that contributes to the day-to-day life of Brocktonians that otherwise wouldn't get that information. So thank you.
Okay, so Councilors at Large, we're going to call Nicolas J. Fernandez. Is he here?
A lifelong Brockton resident. Went through Brockton Public High Schools. I went to UMass Amherst. I graduated there with a sport management degree. And then I did 2 years of national service with a national nonprofit called City Year, working primarily in education. And now I think the time is right for me to get more involved with the community and to give back to my people and to give back to the residents of Brockton in a way that the city hasn't seen before. Providing more information for everyone, for all the residents that are involved, making that the city council at large position very visible and very approachable for all residents of Brockton. The three things that I want to address most importantly, I want to provide more youth opportunities for our children and for our teens in Brockton so they have a chance and hope for a future, because if we're going to move Brockton to the future, we have to take our kids with us. And second, I want to see our downtown area improved. I want to see that downtown look like, you know, it used to be back in the day where we had theaters and coffee shops and grocery stores, and it was just a wonderful place to walk through. And I know I didn't experience that coming up, but I know that we can bring it back to where it was. And I definitely want to improve the infrastructure, both physically with the roads and the lighting and you know, kind of that landscape of Brockton, but also technologically with the city website and making the city website more attractable and more feasible for people to access information that they need in the city. So those are my 3 points that I want to address, but definitely I want to make Brockton more of a community for all of us to be in this together, so we can all come together as a one people, as a city of champions, and bring this place where it needs to be. Thank you.
City Committee, as well as the Vice Chairman of the Plymouth County Charter Commission. Many of you may have seen me on TV before on the show Democratically Speaking, of which I am the host. And one of the main reasons I wanted to run for council at large is we have a ever-increasing constant tax rate structure that keeps going up all the time, and it seems that our current city officials seem to have come to the conclusion that taxes going up every year is inevitable. I don't buy into that. I never have, and I'm not going to now. Lowering the tax rate will help residents stay in their homes, the homes they've grown up in all their lives. Many people in my neighborhood are the same people that were there when I was in elementary school back in the day. It also, a lower tax rate helps entice businesses to come to Brockton, and that is the key, to increase the amount of businesses that come to Brockton. Many of the people in the Cape Verdean community, there were immigrants came here as my grandfather did in the early 1900s, looking for a better way of life, wanting to start their own businesses. And what we have to do is make that much easier to do, streamline the process, make the tax rate to the point where it's profitable and accessible to have a business here in Brockton. So I hope that I have many more positions available. My website is www.stephenfoot.com. I encourage you to visit that to get my positions on the other issues. I know we have a very limited amount of time here. But again, my name is Stephen Foot. I'm looking for your vote for Councilor at Large on September 17th, and thank you very much for having me.
people. Also, past couple of days, we have been announcing this gathering. It's going to be written on the papers in Verdean, and people are like following Brockton politics. And that you should, in the past, we are so laid back, but we have realized voices must be heard.
Okay, thank you. So,
I'm running is because I'm a 25-year resident of Brockton, raising my family here of 7 children with my wife here of 30 years. And we're at the point now in Brockton to where this is a do or die situation for this great city. Okay, we need politicians, we need people, citizens that are going to be involved and be proactive with all communities, with all people in diverse races here in our city. This is a great city, but how can we ask anyone to do anything if you don't get in there yourself and do it? That's the way I feel that you have to ask for help, okay, for anyone else to get involved. I do have a plan. My plan is to start with creating jobs, but to create the jobs is a threefold plan. Create jobs, you have to create revenue, and you also have to make the city safer. You have to bring the crime rate down, okay, to attract these jobs, okay? But you have to put some people to work. You have to bring the businesses here. I have an idea to do it. I have people in place to do that, and I have a plan to do it. I'm willing to work with anyone who's in the council, and I think that together, and I mean not only those who I elected, but for us to go out into the community and reach out to the citizens of Brockton, because it's going to take the whole city to bring us back to what we're doing. It's not just one person or the council chamber, the mayor. It's going to take everyone. And is it going to be a little bit of pain with it? Yes, with anything, you're going to have growing pains. But together we can do it, and we can lessen that pain if we do it as a whole group. Not one person, but as a city. And we can do it. I look forward to earning your vote on September 17th. Thank you. I'm Gary Keith, City Councilor at Large.
Country in the 30s from what was then Portugal, but was in fact Cape Verde. So I'm actually by a few generations away, part of the community. I'm a lifelong resident of Brockton, and but the reason I'm running for city council is because I too think that the city's at crossroads. We need strong leadership to keep the city moving in the right direction. We need to attract businesses to the city. We need to make the city more easy to do business with. Time and time again, I run into business owners who are having a tough time getting through zoning, through permitting, through all the hoops that have to be jumped through in the city. We need to make things easier. Why is it that someone can go to Marshfield and apply for all their permits online and schedule inspectors online, and we can't do that in Brockton? We need to be better at what we do. We need to make the city more attractive to do business in, and only growing our business tax base will we be able to provide real tax relief for residents of the city. Also, as another key component of that, we need to make the city safe. We have one of the best fire departments and police departments around. There's no doubt about that. But we need to be able to give them the tools and support them to maintain what they're doing, and allow the police to continue their community service work, to interact with the community. We can't just keep reacting to crime. We need to be proactive and interact with the community and give youth another opportunity. Show them there's a different way. And that's why I'm running for city council, because I want Brockton to be what it was once again. Thank you.
Brocktonian. I'm a product of the public school systems here, from elementary school to Brockton High School. I then went on to Emerson College with a degree in communications, and I now work in the film business here in New England and New York City. I ran a few times in the past, I think it was 2005 and 2007, on an open and transparent government and a return to excellence. And you hear everywhere you go in Brockton what we need to do, what we want to do. For me, it's about the common sense of government and common sense of our community. There's a lot of things in my experience as a private citizen, and as a private citizen getting involved, I'm actually also a Brockton Water Commissioner. I'll say 1 of 5, because I'm the one water commissioner that will not tell a lie and tell the truth. Through the entire water debacle, I was the person telling people the real truth of what was happening, while people inside our government were lying and hiding the truth to everybody here. And that to me is a foundation of government and democracy. Common sense. So yes, we want to bring businesses, we want to be safe in our community. And it's a web of everything here. And it starts with broken windows and return to excellence and about the rule of law and economics. Everything is economics. But how do we get there? Well, I've had the experience, as many of you have, from coming from other places and coming to Brockton, what it's like in other communities. Why can other communities do things that we can't? And I'll tell you what I've found. It's the attitude. There's an attitude in Brockton that says, yeah, we can't do it. And unfortunately, the doors have been closed for far too long from our government to let us know what's going on. Well, as I've gone, and as many of you have gone, you've come to realize that the further you reach, the further truth shows up in your front door. And the truth is right before us. And so what we need to do is we need to find people who are going to be leaders, who are going to hold people accountable, put their backs to the wall and say, this is how we do things, and I'll show you how to do it. I've got ideas and plans, and for me, I want to include everyone. Everyone's ideas need to be on the table. We can no longer move our city forward with the lack of knowledge or the knowledge of just certain individuals. Everyone has to be part of the table. And that's what I'll bring to you as a city councilor, it's not me being elected, it's everyone else. For all of us need to be involved, because it's that simple, honestly. But we have to somehow change the attitude in our community, and that's 2 minutes. So I'm running for city councilor at large, and hopefully I'll get your vote.
Thank you.
I too am a longtime resident of this city. I was not born in this city, but I've lived in this city most of my adult life. I'm a product of the Brockton school system as well too. Went on to college, graduated from UMass Boston, and as a matter of fact, I'm still at UMass Boston trying to finish a master's that I started some years ago when Christ was still in junior high. But the reason why I've decided to throw my hat in and run for city council in this city, and having worked at the mayor's office for 4 years, I think we got this all wrong. We're holding the wrong people accountable for the fiasco in the city of Brockton. This is a Plan B city. It's not a Plan A. Boston is a Plan A. This is a Plan B city where the council has all the responsibilities and the power to do anything. It's easy to sit here and point fingers at the mayors. The mayor aren't doing this, the mayor's not doing. The mayor is simply the chief executive officer of the city. The council is the one that decides what is done, how is it done, when is it not done. If you sit down and think about it, you cannot move a telephone pole in this city without going in front of the council to have it approved before you can move it. So if you have to go in front of the council for just about everything in the city, why not elect people in the council who are actually able to do some things to make some changes in the city? And that's why some of us that actually have seen the inside are actually now coming back in to try to do something about some of the things that we've noticed on the inside. And I think the city deserves a lot better. We can do a lot better. We've talked about this. I mean, there's not a single person here that doesn't have a plan. Everybody has a plan. Everybody has a plan. Everybody wants great schools. Everybody wants safe streets. Who does not want that? But it's the hows that matter. We talk about, the lack of increasing or decreasing in taxes. It's nice to talk about it. But the fact is, how do we go about fixing those problems? How do we bring in more revenues so that the taxes don't have to go up? And I think I have some ideas and some thoughts, and I'd like to share that with the community. And I hope they do vote for me when September 15th shows up. Thank you.
To come to a place and feel like I'm coming home to a certain extent. I feel like I know almost everyone in the room. So thanks to all of you for being involved yourselves. You can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. You build a reputation on what you've accomplished. So I'd like to talk about my accomplishments. You get a clear sense of what the future looks like with me on the city council. As you know, I was the first public official to oppose the proposed power plant that would be only a few blocks from here, polluting the air in this community and impacting the lives of your family and your children directly. I was the first to oppose it. And it wasn't an easy thing to do because frankly, most in political power were in favor of the project. You may be aware that we have the largest foreclosure rate in the Commonwealth, yet the city was still doing business with Bank of America. I'm the city councilor in partnership with some community groups that got the city to divest over $170 million out of Bank of America, your tax dollars, and put that money into local banks. So if you want to create revenue, you make certain you put taxpayer dollars into institutions that respect our community. And just one last example. Recently, you know that department heads were looking for pay raises. I was the vote that was blocking those pay raises because
not that necessarily that those department heads didn't deserve it, but because there was no evaluation or performance review in place. When you love to be on the job and get raises and not have a performance review, because of those actions, we are now putting in place or looking into how we can make sure that department heads get proper evaluation and performance reviews. That all leads to accountability, government that works better for you, a higher return on your investment. So those are real changes that I've made as your city councilor in 2 terms of 4 years, and there are many more. I have ideas on how we can continue to move in that direction to build accountability and transparency. And frankly, my job is to inspire and make people believe that things are possible by showing that things are possible. So I'm counting on your vote on September 17th. Thank you.
Having served since I was elected in 2006. Thank you very much. I'm a husband, I'm a father of 3 children, and I'm a concerned Brocktonian being born and raised and educated here in the city of Brockton. First of all, let me say that the Cape Verdean community is a proud community here in the city of Brockton that have warmly embraced me since 2006. During my city council and also when I ran for state representative. I had the honor and privilege last year to meet with President Fonseca. I was the only local elected official to be invited to meet with the gentleman, fine gentleman, and I also met with Prime Minister Neves 2 years ago at City Hall. So the Cape Verdean community is something that I cherish, much to the fact that my own grandparents came here as immigrants from Ireland. So I feel it's not how long you've served, it's what you've done since you've served there. And I can list, I only have 2 minutes, but I can list some of the accomplishments. One of the things I think during tough economic times, you need to be creative, you need to have cost containment and fiscal responsibility. One of the things that I did, and Jay says my colleague on the council supported, was the streetlight acquisition and what it means to Brockton dollar. This year alone, $650,000 savings, 650 grand for teachers in the classrooms, police on the street, and fire personnel in the station. So, you know, I think we need to have elected officials that are doing it for the right reasons and without question. You know, at great sacrifice to my young family, I do it because I love this city. I want a better Brockton. You know, there's 4 of us that serve the entire city, all 7 wards, all 28 precincts. Myself and Jace are the incumbents. There's 2 open seats. I want to thank all the candidates that are throwing their name on the ballot because it's going to be a long summer. But each of these people, men and women, are doing it again to try to better Brockton. So I'm asking for your support again, as I've done since 2006. I'm looking for your 1 of 4 votes on September 17th and again in November in the general election. Robert F. Sullivan, Councilor at Large. Again, I'm going to work with you at all times. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
My last name begins with a B. I should have probably been first, but it was nice to listen to everybody else. The reason I'm getting into the race this year, I've run before about 10 years ago, is now I have the time. I'm semi-retired from the retail grind. I ran an $11 million furniture store down in South Attleboro. Now I've got a little bit of time to get back to the community, thank God. What really piqued my interest was this past winter. I read about a group called Brocktonians for Limited Taxation, which was founded by Dick Sicaro over here and Ron Matta, candidate for council, Ward 7, and Ron Matta is running for mayor. And they were fighting against all odds the tax increase last year on the property taxes for business owners and residents. To me, it's gotten out of control. Over the last decade, taxes have risen every single year. Now, does anybody here like the fact that taxes have gone up every year? Raise your hand, please. I'd like to see some hands on this. I guess nobody really likes that. It's a serious detriment to the growth in this city. And I just couldn't sit back any longer. So I went to a couple of meetings at City Hall. They still passed the new tax rate, which was an increase, of course. We were told this year, if you come in June, you can help stave off a tax increase. So we gathered a lot of people together, and we went up to City Hall. A lot of us spoke and gave good arguments against raising the property taxes on residences and business owners. There was no need to raise taxes this year. The money is in the budget. I spent 3.5 hours with our CFO, John Condon, and he taught me a lot about the budget. And I would highly recommend all the candidates to try to reach out to him and learn more about our budget process. But the money was there. There's money in there that could have been used to balance the tax levy and forego at least for a year. See how it works out. Forego the tax increase on the residents and the business owners in the city. So again, I've lived in the city most of my life, raised 5 children all through the Brockton schools, and I hope for your vote. My name's Paul Beckner, B-E-C-K-N-E-R. Thank you.
Honestly, I'm not going to tell you about a plan or anything like that, other than the only thing I really want to say is, one, I'm thrilled to be here, honestly. I've been happy since I got the invitation, so I appreciate that, no matter what happens. 2, I'm here just like everyone else. I'm here because I care. And at the end of the day, as long as our hearts are in it, about the people that we see each and every day, that's all that matters. I'm very confident right now. I was just speaking to Mr. Keith over there. I've spoken to Ron Matter. I'm thrilled to see you, Nick. I know your family. Win or lose, this makes me feel good. This is what I'm here for. It's supposed to be about competition. I do think some of the councilors, I'm not saying it because you're here, I think you guys are doing the best you can. But I do think we need to change the perspective. We need not all fresh faces, because we need experience, but we need a different perspective also. And we need to represent the city as far as the demographics also. I'm not saying elect city officials because of skin color, because we want the right people. But for the city to be comfortable in our image, we need to be represented correctly also. But again, I'm here because this is what it's all about, and I want to be a part of the process. I want to help out. I'm not going to stop when this is over, win or lose. I'm staying in. I'm going to do my share, and that's really all I can really say to you guys. Other than thank you all, even to the candidates here that are running. I appreciate this, and thank you to you guys.
So I'm not going to go over my political speech with you. However, I would like to say I'm glad there's a lot of Cape Verdeans in our community. I was the first graduating class of Brockton High in 1971. We had 5,500 students at Brockton High. Take a guess how many minorities attended that high school in 4 classes. 150, okay? Now I ride around the city, you have about 65% minority, and I think that you people are underserved in our city government. I would like to see more minorities working for the city, especially in departmental heads. You're a strong part of the community. I also have my own cable show, An Outside View. I've had some Cape Verdeans on the show, so I would welcome anyone here, the Cape Verdean community, that would like to appear on my show. Please give me a call. So I won't get into my political speech. It's not fair to my opponents in 7, but I do have some handouts here. And I feel hopefully you pick some up and you can read about some of my backgrounds and points. And you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
A letter for us to read here. Is that okay? Do you approve that? Okay, I'm going to ask Gunga to kindly read that letter. Ready to re-elect Linda M. Balzori, Mayor. Dear friends, thank you very much for your invitation to this evening's gathering. Because of a previous commitment, I'm out of town tonight and was not able to make a last-minute change to be here. Please know that I wanted to attend, and I look forward to catching up with many of you in the next few weeks. As the Mayor of Brockton, I'm proud of our work together to build a brighter future for the entire city. I love my job, I have a passion for our community, and I have always enjoyed my work with the Cape Verdean community. In May, for example, I was proud to attend the Back to the Roots event in Raham with the Consulate and Ambassador, which highlighted the strong bond between Cape Verde, Brockton, and the entire region. And last week, I had a chance to meet with hundreds of kids in the Aliança CV Football Club, which is a great program doing great things for so many young people. It is really this work and these programs that weave together the fabric of our city, and how we've been able to work to achieve so many great things. I'm encouraged by our work to move Brockton forward on a number of fronts. We've worked together to better engage city residents. We've laid the foundation for a revitalized downtown and to help Cape Verdean businesses grow and prosper. We bolstered our commitment to providing opportunities to young people across the city. And through all this work, we have worked to build a better, brighter Brockton. As a community, we have so much of which to be proud, but we also have important work that remains ahead. I proudly ask for your support so that together we'll be able to continue our positive results for you, your families, and our entire city. Most sincerely, Mayor Linda M. Balzoni.
2 minutes.
The fast breakdown of my life here in Brockton has been, went to Brockton High School, and then from there I went to Boston University, and from there I went to the Army, and coming back to Brockton, I got married, and my wife over there, and we've been married now for 51 and a half years, and I have... You never know it. And I started a travel agency, and well, let me get back to my family. We have a son and a daughter. Our son graduated Brockton High School in 1983, and the class size was 1,200 kids, and he was #1 in the class. And our daughter graduated in '83, and she was #1 in her class. And so we hold a record of having the only two in one family to be #1. So if anyone here has 3 kids in the family, it's a goal to beat. Okay. So anyway, I own the Atlas Travel Agency, and I've been involved in things happening in the city that I've stopped. It goes way back to the time when the police were cashing checks illegally. The banks were cashing checks for the policemen, and it was a complete corruption situation. And I bet about $175,000 to $200,000 in checks were being cashed illegally. And after that, I got involved with doing the building departments. So the whole idea is, my thinking, we better change the way this is running the city. A whole different concept. The way that technology has changed the country and changed local businesses. I see it in my business. In fact, I call it my personal daycare. And fortunately for the Cape Verdean customers, that has maintained my business to a good extent to keep me busy. And so the whole thing is, unless we change things, hold on.
5 seconds.
What's that, 5 what?
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
5 more minutes?
No.
Anyway, the whole thing is, we gotta put a freeze on the salaries and maybe roll back some of these crazy salaries where school guardians get $50 an hour if you sign the paper. And one last question. Does anybody here not know about the $5 million a year that we're paying for water?
$6 million.
Went up to 6?
Yep.
Okay, that's, you're right. Everybody knows about that? Okay, time's up.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Ron Matter, and I'm running for mayor because of my love for the city of Brockton and the people in it. Unlike other candidates for mayor, I'm not a full-time politician. I'm not a radio personality or a city councilor. Just an average guy running because I'm fighting for what I believe in, and that's the truth. Over the last 3 years, I have learned a lot about my pursuit of the truth in the city. It has been an eye-opening experience. I exposed corruption in the Brockton school system while nobody else was doing it. My plan is to put more police on the street to clean up the rampant problems with the high crime rate, prostitution, and drugs. And this will begin to turn our great city around. I also will be working with local businessmen to bring new businesses to Brockton that will provide jobs for our residents. We have very high taxes, and excuse me, The greatest detriment to wealth creation is overtaxation and overregulation. And this is what we have presently in the city of Brockton. I will work to make this a more business-friendly city. Over time, I will cut out the fat in the budget and will no longer burden our residents and businesses with high taxes. I will stop the power plant from coming to Brockton. The people will prevail in the power plant battle. I will also get us out of other bad contracts like the Campanelli Stadium, the Stonehill College, and the desal plant. I'm asking for your support and vote on September 17th. I am running because the truth matters. Thank you very much.
Those I have been living. I am a doctoral scholar at this moment, and I have 2 more years. And probably in the future, I might be able to do more for the city of Brockton. And thank you very much.
I graduated from Bridgewater State College. I have a bachelor degree on management, and we just opened our company, NP Multi Services. It's a temp agency, and we're looking forward, to do good business in Brockton, and I welcome you guys here.
Now, we have realized that in the United States, in order to be counted, it's not your race or ethnicity or the amount of money you have, but it's if you vote. If right now I go to one of you and I tell you I voted for you, you have the ability to know if I voted, whether I vote or not. Well, historically, Cape Verdeans have not voted. I have to be honest with you, but this is changing now. The trend is changing because we have realized that with our participation, you will pay more attention to us, and then you will respect us more, and then we can earn more and support our people back home and our government and our country consequently. Therefore, that's why we are going to try very hard to be active. Our next step is going to be to begin the registration process. We have created a system where we can call all Cape Verdeans, ask them to register, go door to door. We wanted them to register, and we're going to be paying attention to what you are saying on a daily basis. We are group of us, we are researchers, we can know who you are, we can see what you have done and what you have not done, and our vote is going to be an intelligent vote for those who, in addition to defending the Cape Verdean value and what we stand for, that you're going to, above all, defend the value of Brockton. Brockton should be first and foremost. So, that's what I want you to be aware. We're going to pay attention to you. We are going to research all of you because, like us, now with social media, we can know exactly who you are. And then we will decide, these are the people that we should move forward. However, we are not going to hold you accountable for yesterday. We want to see today and forward what we're going to do starting now. But Cape Verdeans are going to be active. And thank you for you coming here today.
here, it shows a lot of respect. So I thank you very much for being here with us. Myself and some of the, like Montron and other individuals, we have been involved in the organization and Cape Verdean registering, and Jace is one of the people, the candidates that we worked. He's working, he's doing a good job, so we appreciate that. We were involved in some ways, but not in a general sense. According to what my friend Julie is saying, yes, it is important for the Cape Verdean community to be more involved. One thing that I want to point out to you, because sometimes what happens is, it's not that people that coming from different community, it's lack of willingness to do things. It's because you probably don't know much about our own issues. So this is why we're starting the process. We want to communicate. We want to be able to tell you what our issues are, so that you know how to address it when you make decisions. One of the things, for example, that I can look at and know is some of the, for example, small businesses. Small businesses in some of the areas. As you can see in Brockton, we have business throughout Main Street. There is a lot of us, so great contributors to the city of Brockton. Other than that, we have a lot of Cape Verdeans building. A lot of the houses are owned by Cape Verdean community. That means that this community is an entrepreneur, right? They come here not only to live in the city, but to contribute to the city. So that is important. These people are contributing to the wealth of the city. So the same token, we also expect that when the cities make decisions that affect the lives of those families and those children, it should be seen in a positive light. We know that we also have some issues related with the youth. Unfortunately, one of the things that I should say is that most of the news that we hear throughout the American media is negative. We learn about our kids being shot, we learn about kids shooting other kids. We understand that that's an issue. And sometimes, unfortunately, this is, I'll finish. I know these guys are very obsessive with time, but I'll finish. So one thing that I would like you guys to include in the process of making decisions is how to communicate with us parents. I am a parent. All of these are parents. So those are the people that you might need to come and discuss some of the issues.
On this program organized by the Cape Verdean Media Association, I believe it's a great honor for us to listen to all your concerns about the Cape Verdean community and about your programs moving Brockton forward. The council also asked that we tell the organizers, the Cape Verdean Media Association, that both the government of Cape Verde and the consulate, they attribute great importance to the socialism in Brockton, and being the media part of this movement since about 3 years ago, you can count on all the support of the Cape Verdean Consulate. And as mentioned here recently, the next forum that they will have is going to take place at the Consulate General in our new headquarters in Quincy, Massachusetts. We are now located at 300 Congress Street in Quincy, so not too far from Brockton, so we will be able to support not just